Good morning, beautiful souls. Good morning, leaders. It's Anna T. Brooks here, your psychic empowerment coach and earth angel. Good morning, good afternoon. Technically, I know I'm running a little bit late for the weekly training and the weekly energetic share. This week, there's been a lot of changes, a lot of things shifting around, which is really exciting. However, here I am. So this is this week's kind of training and share, which is actually going to be the final of the Oracle card shares. So I've done now, this will be the 7th week, 7 different decks that I use, sharing with you in depth week by week, exactly how the deck looks, what it's used for, what I use it for more specifically, and giving you a real in-depth look at the cards and everything as well. So you get to really understand. And if you want to purchase any of these, you can for yourself, right? So this is the final week of this series, of this 7 weeks. So next week I'll be coming up with something new for you guys. I might even put in a bit of a poll during the week for what you would like. I might put some different titles and different topics that I could cover and see what resonates with you guys. So I will be doing that later this week, and next week we'll have something new to do. But without further ado, let's get into this week and let's get into this final of the Oracle card shares. So make sure you say hello, by the way, when you're jumping on. Let me know as well if you're catching the replay, pop in hashtag replay and let me know your thoughts as we go through everything. I'm really excited about this deck as well, because I feel like there's been a couple that I've shared because I wanted to give you guys a real good scope of all the different kind of cards that I use, but I know that a lot of them I use for a very specific setting, and so they're not as good to do like the weekly energetic reading. And this one is really, really good for that, because I can split it up into my favorite type of reading, which you guys know that I do, which is the mind, body, soul, right? So at the end of today's session, I'm going to be pulling cards. And once again, I'm going to be doing a card each, 3 different cards for the energy of the week. 1 to do with your mind, your mindset, what's going on with your things that you're kind of conscious of, your body, so more of the physical space and everything, and then finally your soul. So this is more of the unconscious, subconscious, underlying soul spirit type of messages for you. So excited to do that towards the end. Let's get into this. So today's deck that I'm sharing with you is the Divine Energy Oracle deck by Sonia Choquette. Don't know if I've pronounced her name right, maybe, who knows. Either way, this is the deck that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And you would have seen this one before. This is a very, I guess, it's a very advice driven type of deck, right? So it's got a lot of very, very clear advice, very sort of specific. It's not, it does have a lot of kind of spirituality and depth to it, especially when you read through the guidebook. The guidebook's quite big because the deck is big. This is 63 cards, guys. 63 cards. Which is by far the biggest deck I've ever had. I was not prepared for this in any way, shape, or form. Look how thick it is. To hold it is really, really thick. So while I've got that, I may as well show you. So that's kind of the picture on the back of all of the cards. It's all the same gold kind of style, but yeah, it is so thick to get your hands around, which does make it difficult. This is probably the one thing that I will say in regards to how usable this deck is. For me personally, even though I actually have quite big, like long fingers and stuff, I cut my nails yesterday, so it doesn't look like it right now. They look really short and stumpy, but I do have long hands, and you know, I'm a pianist and stuff as well, so I can play and, you know, reach everything really well. This is a really big deck, and it's actually quite uncomfortable to shuffle a lot of the time. So I do find that a lot of the time what I will do is I will shuffle through just loosely, and then I will actually take a moment, I'll split the deck, and then I will choose which side I'm going to kind of go through and shuffle it in half, because honestly, that's just, yeah, otherwise I feel like I'm just dropping cards constantly and I'm not really connected because I'm concentrating so much on how uncomfortable it is. So anyway, that's why I'm sharing this stuff, right? Because that way you're aware, and if you get the deck yourself, especially if you have smaller hands, you're probably going to find it's a little bit frustrating and a little bit annoying to use. So yeah, but that's my workaround, right? I shuffle it through loosely, and then I will just put, you know, one in each hand and just select half to use. So that's the deck. So the box itself, again, this is a pretty big box. So that's like on the side half how it is. So you've got obviously the inside, the outside there. So it's kind of pink. It's got these beautiful little gold love hearts on the inside, which I love. So that's the actual casing and everything for the deck. Like I said, it's got the guidebook, 63 cards. So this is a pretty big guidebook of all the different meanings and everything. And like I said, although the cards themselves, I'll show you a few of them now, they're very simple. This is not one that you use for activations, especially if you saw the Transmission of Light Oracle deck. I think that's what it's called. The one that I did last week. I've just gone blank on the name because I'm in the train of thought of something else. But you know that there's some of the other decks that you would have watched where I talk about how they actually have specific, they might have coding or they might have messages in the actual card itself, in the images and the pictures, that there could be colors or there could be something about what's drawn on the card that really stands out to you. These ones are as simple as they get, all right? So I'll show you some of the cards. That one just says speak up, right? That one says, I'm trying to read them like backwards to myself, strengthen your gifts. Begin to explore. Live your soul, not a role. Right? So there we go. Prioritize, reevaluate your priorities. Sorry. So there's actually, I've chosen a pretty good mix, but there you go. There's another one, keep your commitment. So what you'll see, like here's one that I've just pulled out that's already like the others. See these two? Exactly the same picture, right? So it's not about the picture in there. It's not about what's in there. Like this one says be of service and this one says strengthen your gifts. So they do use, I don't know exactly how many there are. There's probably maybe 5 or 6 different pictures and they just put the actual words onto that particular picture, right? So they're all very, very similar. There's a couple of different ones, like there's that one, tune out distractions. But yeah, they're all very repetitive in the type of diagram. So you're not using it to really get into the card itself and really tune into kind of the energy or the picture or something like that. This is really about the message, these cards. And that's why I love them for advice, because they are very direct, very to the point. And then I really do love the actual guidebook, the way that it explains the card, because it's not as simple as just like, you know, whatever the advice is on there. It actually goes deeper and it has these sections, which you'll see when I do the reading as well. So it explains it first and then it says your divine energy is, and it explains like what that divine energy is kind of calling you to do or asking of you. And then it has as well your divine invitation, right? So it's something that it's inviting you to do. So even though it's such a simple deck in terms of the pictures and stuff, hey Scott, I can see you jumping on. Even though it's such a simple deck in terms of the pictures, you're not kind of using them to activate anything within you. The advice is very simple, all that kind of thing. Once you're actually reading the guidebook and the full explanation, it goes a lot deeper, and I actually find it really, really interesting because it's not always necessarily what you think. Like if you see just like the 3 or 4 words on the deck, or on the card, it goes a lot deeper than that, which is really, really fascinating for me. So in terms of the different readings, these, it's a very short introduction and everything, right? Like in terms of the actual book, there's an introduction that goes over like 2 pages and that's it. And then it actually suggests a 5-card layout that you can do, which is basically the present, the past, the immediate future, what you're failing to see, and the long-term opportunity. I haven't actually done this reading myself, but I can see how this would actually be a really good one, right? So it literally only suggests one type of reading, which is, considering the whole rest of the book is explanations of the cards. It's very, very simple. And obviously I love using this one as well for just general card pulls when I want to jump on and, do a free one for you guys or on my personal profile or wherever, because it does just focus on the advice and it gives some really, really, concrete, really specific, but really deep advice as well. So it's really good for just a 1-card reading, like in the morning if you want to just kind of pull a card for yourself and ask for some advice for the day. It'll give you that real kind of succinct and efficient information, right? So okay, I need to breathe. I always forget to breathe. You said hi. I know, what is that? What is that? How dare you just lose your catchphrase? I wouldn't even know who it was if I hadn't seen your name. Yeah, so it's a really cool deck. So I think I've kind of explained it all. Yeah, I use it, honestly, I use it for 1-card readings. I haven't done that 5-card reading that they suggest in the guidebook, but now that I've actually read it, I might, because I think that would be a really cool one as well to even offer my clients and everything, because it is, yeah, it is, that's a really, really good way of looking at it, basically. I'm just kind of impressed. But otherwise, it's a really good one to include, you know, as part of a reading with some other cards. And like I said, you know, the reading I'm about to do now for you guys for the week's energy is going to be like a mind, body, soul. And I think that's going to be a good fit as well to kind of give advice for each of those 3 areas, basically. So drop down if you have any questions, whether you're watching live now or if you're catching this on the replay. I do always check back if you guys have questions. So drop them in if there's something I haven't covered that you're curious about, or even if there's just something about Oracle cards in general that you're curious about, because this is the last one that I'll be doing on this particular series. I might do another, you know, different type of series in the future, who knows. But yeah, any questions that you have while I wrap up this series, please feel free to pop them in. And in the meantime, I will start shuffling and we will get into the reading for this week for the weekly energies. So like I said, I'm going to be pulling 3 cards. I am going to just take my time shuffling this massive deck. Oh, the first one's already fallen out for us. Okay. I'm just going to take my time. I'm not going to split it this time. I'm actually just going to shuffle the whole deck, but I'm just going to be very patient and very gentle over here. So I'm going to pull the 3 cards for mind, body, and soul and go through what advice it has for us this week in those 3 areas. So the mind one already came out. Let's see what it has for body. Oh, maybe it doesn't want to fall out this time. Yeah, okay, I'm going to split it this time. There we go, so that's the body, and we'll shuffle a little bit more. And the soul energies for this week, the underlying, subconscious. What do you have to share with us? Ooh, okay. All right, that's not right. That's way too many, like a whole pile of them fell out, so that's okay. We shall keep shuffling until it comes out with the message it needs, that we need. There it is. Yeah, that one stood out. All right, so we have our 3 cards. Let me just make sure I don't get that confused. Okay, so let's begin. Mind. So this is the one for your mindset for the week, your kind of conscious energies, things that you're going to be aware of, things that you're going to be thinking about, things that are going to come into your awareness. We have, ooh, let go and enjoy. You know, words are like in this weird calligraphy, so I have no doubt that you cannot even possibly read that. But like I said, I'm not going to stick to showing the cards for too long because the cards themselves aren't the main message. This is the one thing I forgot to mention. This is one of my pet peeves with this deck. It doesn't have any organizational way of finding the meaning in the book. Okay, like some will go by alphabetical order, for example, like whatever the first letter is. So like this would be L, let go and enjoy. So it would be under L and it would go that way. Some would be in like different orders and things like that. This has no way. You've got to go through 3 pages or 63 cards and find wherever that particular meaning is and then go find it. That's one thing that does annoy me with this deck, but that's just a personal thing because I don't have a great deal of patience for things like that. All right, I did find it though. So let go and enjoy. Mindset. Are you feeling bored, restless, or tired of the same old, same old? Are you bogged down with so many daily duties that you see no way to attend to your creative interests? Your divine energy is calling you to break free of your overtaxing duties and engage in more uplifting activities. There's no reason you cannot do this. Shake off the illusion that there is no time for enjoyment. You need to step back and have some fun. Life is waiting for you. Don't put it off any longer. Your divine invitation is to peacefully and joyfully accept the routine demands of your daily life with patience, love, and a willingness to serve. Recognize the gifts, but know when to step away and refresh yourself. Move through each day with elegance, ease, and determined grace. This is possible if your day includes activities that you enjoy. Even if it's only for a few minutes, do it. You don't have to do great things to live a purposeful life. Rather, do all the little things with genuine love and a desire to be of service. Then go and have some fun. This is the sign of true spiritual evolution. So what I'm feeling from this the most is the need that you're going to feel like you want to just kind of be really dutiful and really just doing all the things and really focusing on getting things done. It's really important for your mindset this week to also incorporate some fun into it. Actually make some time for that, because otherwise by the end of the week, you're going to find yourself really drained if you have just gone boom, 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 and made no space for any fun, any enjoyment, any kind of spontaneity. And you're also going to start to feel drained on your own motivations, right? Because you're going to be like, okay, well, I've done all these things, but I'm not enjoying them, right? So in this week, if you do find yourself getting a little bit too humdrum, a little bit too routine, make sure you take a step back and ask yourself, okay, I'm feeling that sort of segregation, that sort of pull, and of, focusing too much on just doing all the things. What do I need right now to refuel myself, to have more fun, to really just kind of lighten my mind a little bit, lighten your mindset? So that's the first card. Second card, this is for the physical body, physical manifestations. So advice for this is kind of dealing with the outside world in this particular reading. It's how to handle certain things that are in your physical reality this week. Tune out distractions. Which is always good advice, really. But sometimes we need distractions. Sometimes we actually need to get ourselves out of kind of our state. But definitely this week, when it's coming from outside sources, let me read what it says. Now is time to tune out the intrusive voices, choices, and opinions of others and tune into your authentic inner voice. Strengthen contact with your inner guidance by refraining from asking others to weigh in with their opinion. Do not be fearful that you'll make a wrong decision and suffer irreversible consequences. That is an illusion. You can trust your inner voice to guide you now, and it is time to begin. Your divine energy is calling you to tune others out and tune inward instead. Get quiet and listen to your deepest wisdom. Your inner guidance can lead you to what is best for you, so all other voices must go. Your divine invitation is to block out the din of the external world so you can listen to the still voice within. It can be heard, but it won't compete with the world for your attention. You must choose to tune inward through quiet time and meditation, and refuse to allow your life to be run by others. Be selective in what and who you listen to, giving the priority to what your heart says. Only then will you find the answers you're seeking. So this is really, really important this week, to make sure that you are tuning out other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's pressures, and because this is all about the outward stuff that you're going to be aware of, the physical things, it's going to be really important for you to take that time. And that's kind of feeding into that first card as well, let go and enjoy. There might be a bit of a pressure from other people to do things a certain way, to show up a certain way, to take action a certain way, to conduct yourself a certain way. And it might be really, really strict. And it might be really, really pedantic and really kind of highly strung. And you get to choose in that mindset to let go and have some fun. And that's going to require of you in the physical to be able to tune out distractions and to be able to tune out the people that are trying to pull you into their agendas and instead stay in your lane, right? So that's the second card. Let me just check. Cool. All right, we're good. Just checking if there's any comments coming through. And then the final card. So this is for your soul. So this is the subconscious. This is the kind of the underlying unconscious energies. So this is, for this reading, really, I would see this as, what do I need to know? What advice do I need for handling what's coming up within me that I'm not even aware of? What advice can you give me that is going to help me to deal with things that I'm not even aware are going to come up yet, right? Oh, there we go. Seek hidden treasure. I haven't actually pulled this card before. This is a good one. I haven't actually read this one, so this is going to be interesting once I find the actual page it is on in this massive book. There it is. Okay. So, seek hidden treasure. In what area of your life could you be taking things at face value? Where could you be guilty of missing something deeper or being told that you don't get it? Slow down and don't jump to conclusions before fully studying the situation. Avoid being too quick to evaluate what is going on. There is more than meets the eye. Your divine energy is calling you to slow down and take a deeper look at the present situation. Overcome your tendency to judge too quickly and miss what's really true. Beyond the surface of life lies hidden treasure. You'll see clearly if you observe with an open heart and mind. Your divine invitation is to be open-minded and learn all you can before drawing conclusions. Take your time, study the facts fully, and listen deeply from your heart. Look for the connection rather than separating factors when evaluating others and your place in their life. Dispel any notion that you're better, smarter, or more deserving, powerful, or entitled than others, or vice versa. Accept that the people in your life are direct reflections of you. Where there's light, see your glow, and where there's shadow, see your gloom. Stop fighting others and start loving the connection we all share. We're all in this game of life together, so you'll see your role as a player as important, but not special. Respect others as equals, and you'll soon see the truth. So that's a bit of information, a bit of advice for some underlying things this week. And this kind of feeds into, the other cards that we have, with your physical outward kind of needing to tune out distractions this week, and with your mindset, being really, really needing to have some fun, needing to let go a little bit, needing to make sure you're taking the time, that there's more going on than you realize, right? So give yourself that time to go deeper and to understand that there's something still coming to the light. There is a hidden truth that's still coming to the light, and to not kind of jump on everything exactly as it seems the moment it does, because there's something brewing that you're going to feel like, I'm just going to go do that. That's exactly what I want to do. And then some more information is going to come to light, right? And so that's where, even that card of like tuning out distractions, if something comes to you from outside sources, from others, that you feel like, I have to go jump on this, I have to go do this, I have to go say this, give yourself just a little bit of space first to tune back into you and to tune back into, okay, have I given this enough time? Have I given this enough space for me to really tune into what's going on and just really, give it that space that it needs? And you'll know when that comes up, right? You'll know what situation, what it's specifically referring to. But just be aware that there's more going on behind the scenes, and now's maybe not the best time in that particular situation, whatever it may be for you, to just jump on the first thing that seems like a good idea, especially if it's coming from outside of yourself, right? If it's coming from others, that's where it can get really, really hazy, because that's the advice for this week, is to tune out distractions and tune out other people's opinions and stuff, if they don't resonate with you. So just be wary that you might, feel like getting caught up in something else that's coming from outside of you, and then you're going to miss the real underlying truth and the real gift at the bottom of it all. Okay. I think I got through that. Like I said, it's been a very interesting few days for me. A lot has shifted, a lot has changed, a lot has evolved, and you can probably even tell I'm a little bit different even on this live. I can tell, a little bit different. So the way that I'm actually channeling information and the way that Source is actually speaking through me, that has changed without me even realizing. So some of this is really familiar and some of this is not. So that's the evolution of us, right? All right, I will leave it there. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in. I will always check back and answer any questions that come through. And that's it. I'll see you guys next week for the training and the energetic readings, whatever the topic happens to be. If you do have any suggestions, anything you'd really love me to help you on and support you on and talk about, please feel free to pop it into the comments and I can take that into consideration. And have a beautiful, beautiful week. Remember to let go and enjoy, tune out the distractions, and look for the hidden treasure. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a beautiful week, and remember, live life on purpose. Mwah.